Today I want to talk about Kakanin, which are the various rice cakes of the Philippines. It's derived from two Tagalog words, kain, which means to eat, and kanin, which means rice. Like any other Filipino, if you're not eating rice, are you even really eating? All Kakanin have two common ingredients, which are the base and the sweetener. In this case, Malagkit rice, or sticky rice, and coconut. Different Kakanins substitute coconut for sweetness or rice as a base. Different regions across all of the Philippines have different Kakanin, depending on shape, form, and flavor. Kakanin are usually eaten as dessert, snacks, merienda, panghimagas, and in some cases even breakfast. They're so multi-purpose, which is why everyone in the Philippines knows about them. Because of the Philippines' complex history of nationalization and unification, there are many various tribes with their own cultures, identities, and traditions. What does this mean for Kakanin? Well, the variety of Kakanin reflect the distinct cultural identities across all of the Philippines, which is why I think it's one of the Philippines' treasures. It's both at the same time Filipino and regional. So that brings me to say I'm starting this series on Kakanin to rediscover the flavors of the Philippines and learn about the context of each region's culture. What I hope this series aims to do is one, revitalize and increase the demand for Kakanin as local markets and traditions for them kind of die. Two, to remind Filipinos that being Filipino means having delicious food, straight up. And that we're rooted in an array of amazingly distinct cultures and identities with a common story and unified identity. And I'm excited to say that episode 1 of this series will bring us to my mom's province of Pangasinan, where we'll learn how to make tupig. I wanted to start here because I wanted to rediscover my own regional story from my mom's side. By doing so, find out what she loved as she was growing up. Growing up, my parents would smuggle these back home in the States in a suitcase, and I would be the happiest kid devouring them voraciously. Now, ironically, instead of sending a balikbayan box back to the Bay Area, I'm the balikbayan trying to get back to the sauce of making tupig and how these things are made. Tupig was the first Kakanin that started it all for me. I wanted to show you what a time-consuming, laborious, and traditional process it is just to get an extremely lit result. Let's get into it.
Parang karne na sarili ko. Sa asin paminta ay ibabat, laga na magic sarap, ulam pasarapin, at timplahin bago mo sa kawali to ilipat, talsik mantika ingat, ihanda ang takin. Napakasarap talaga ng pork chop.
So on this episode of Kakanin Gang, we're in Pangasinan, which is my mom's province. I'm really excited to show you what's going on here because this is like the first Kakanin I ever had growing up. We're actually going to show you how it's made. Basically, the vendor that we're buying it from has been making it for like the past 40 years. She's like doing it the OG way, which is like pestle and mortar. So they grind it manually, and that's really where all like the texture and flavor is. And you'll see how it's done here. Oh shit.
It's hard, huh?
It's hype, dude. It's hype.
Yeah, sure it is.
Patawid na pa yata ni nanay ko, madam.
Original. Manong nga taon na? 100 years? It's already inherited by her mother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Manang Lidia is a locally famous tupig maker. She learned her recipe from her mother, and I'm assuming her mother's mother, and so on. She taught her recipe to a Nanay Petring, another famous maker from my mother's hometown of Mangatarem in Pangasinan. What makes Manang Lidia special though is that her process of making malagkit rice is hand-pounded, completely. Where most makers now have transitioned to using machines, Manang Lidia swears by the traditional method, resulting in a superior quality and flavor. Tupig is made from mixing ground malagkit with grated coconut and some sugar. The rice is then sifted to remove clumps and smoothen the tupig. In Manang Lidia's traditional process, no coconut milk or gata is added. The natural juice from the young coconut shavings is the only source of the coconut milk. She says that the other makers who need to add water or coconut milk results in an inferior tupig that spoils quicker or has a less authentic flavor. After the grueling labor of pounding the rice comes the grilling. Depending on the size, cooking can take anywhere from 1 to 2 hours of careful rotation to cook the tupig evenly and prevent it from burning. How is it? It's lit, right?
It's
much delicious.
compared to Bulacan, right?
I like this one because it's the original.
Right? It's like very
Taste
chewy.
Our Tupig is not that good, but this is great. I like it. The texture is chewy.
Right. So the hardest thing about eating Tupig is that it's wrapped in banana leaf, and because you grill it, the banana leaf kind of gets stuck to it. So I'm pretty sure you could eat banana leaf and it's not gonna kill you, but you know, just be warned. The reason why I love Tupig so much is because it's multi-textured. Because it's grilled, it's crunchy, but it's still so chewy, you know? And the whole laborious process of hand pounding, I should say, of the Malagkit rice really comes across. Flavor-wise, it's such a perfect balance of sweet, savory because of the grilling, and you still get some of those mini bits of grated coconut inside. You know, there's still a lot of Kakanin I have not tried in the Philippines, I will admit that. But for nostalgia, for memory, for being the thing that catalyzed it all, Tupig is top 3.
Hey guys, it's Chad the Filipino. This is Tupig, and thank you for watching. Tune in, subscribe, and wait for the next episode where I will show you something really cool from my mom's province that neither of us have never heard about. It's a kakanin made inside bamboo, and it's not puto bumbong, so tune in next time.
Sa asin paminta ay ibabat, laga na magic sarap, ulam pasarapin, at timplahin bago masakawal ito ilip.